Hi everybody, this is Mark and I'm going to take you through PSLE for schools. So let's set the context here. PSLE for schools is about helping years 5 and 6 teachers and students process the handwriting that they do non-stop all year really quickly. Okay, so that's really the intention of this little thing. When I say little thing, it turns out that it's quite a workflow and process. So what happens in our favourite school that uses this at the moment is they kids write some twice, maybe 3 times a week, depending on what Eugene can get through. So obviously that's a lot of paper. There's 57 pages in this one. Now that would typically mean to Eugene right now using Vision with for phone 57 photos. It fills up his phone. It's a bit slow. It's still quicker than actually doing all the grading and feedback yourself. But you take my point. Photocopier is our friend at schools, and they all have scanners built in. So it's very rare to find a school without a good photocopier. So let's put it to use. All we need at the top of each page is a student name. Now, not necessarily at the top of each page. Every student needs to have their name at the top of their first page. So Jack did 2 pages with just Jack at the top. Mike, 3, 4 pages with just Mike. That's the only requirement, okay? We just need a name. Now, having said that, nice story, Kelvin. Having said that, on the other side of this, we need to have a class set up with these kids and their names matching. Now, we don't match on the full surname. We match on the first name, okay? That can be problematic. I know it can be have 2 Jimmys in the class, but that's the way it is, right? They're not going to write their full name because their name might be Jimmy, but it might be Sunjin, Tan, as opposed to Jimmy Tan. So we've got all these problems we have to deal with. We're just going to go with what the kids write on the top of their piece of paper. Hopefully it'll be the name. The teachers can tell them to make it the name that they've got in the system. So we get a match, okay? We don't have to be traditional Chinese names or other names. We can just go with the names they use in the classroom. That's the 2 points, okay? Number 1 is name at the top of the page that matches with the name in the classroom, and we're ready to go. So obviously we need to set up an activity. Now there's no news here. The activity is really just what they're doing, what they're writing about. The rubric should be included in here, and anything else you want to turn on, okay? Student experience, researching. I love Clara. I'll show you that when we get to it. So basically you set up your activity and the kids start writing. So this is the use case in Eugene's classroom. He says, topic on the board, it's all set up in Scribo, the kids are writing. When it's done, he goes and produces that big PDF and clicks on the 3 dots in the corner and uploads student handwriting. Okay, so this is going to take a couple of minutes. It processes 57 pages in detail, does some matching, it does all that sort of work. So this is where he has a cup of tea. Okay, we're back in the room. So there's some nice little management pieces here. We've done our best to find Angel, for example. Angel has 3 pages because the handwriting's pretty similar, number 1. Number 2 is there's no name in between, so it must be Angel. So we can work on that basis. And you can zoom in and have a look and make sure you're okay. You can move left and right. Just assume the pages fill out a sequence in the scanner. All these sorts of things happen. Move left, move right. If this isn't Angel's work or you've got 2 angels, you can move this angel to another angel. Nice working with angels, huh? So essentially every student has got their pages in. You can do a quick check to make sure that that looks, absolutely okay. There's going to be a couple that, Henry and Liz and Melvin were all away. Max was away, but out of all of these, we're going to have some ones that we had trouble with. So the sorts of things we have trouble with. Unfortunately, people put hand-in typed pages in landscape, so they go into the system. Now, if we wanted to say, okay, I know who that is, that's Henry, we could drag it to Henry. This one here, is another one. You could assign it to somebody. Give it to Melvin. Melvin only got one left. So I negotiate what problems I have. Sometimes, you can't find it, or it needs to be scanned again or whatever. Very rare. Pauline was an extra page I put in because I was testing something. So that one's there by design. So once I'm done and I've got all the kids who were there on the day with what expected writing they did, here's my story. It's a cracker. Nice handwriting. You're ready to go. So we sort of summarize it. We say, look, there's a couple of students who didn't have text. Yep, they were away. There's one assigned. That was me. That was Pauline. That was the test page. It pretty much lines it all up. And the next thing you do is start processing. Okay, so I'll get out of here rather than do it again and show you one I've prepared earlier. Okay, I had them all loaded. Now this took about 9 minutes. But as you can see, it's loaded all the work. It's actually still, yep, they're the four that I missed out the first run. Everyone's got a word count. Everyone's got their text in here. You can jump between them all. They're all being graded. They've all been checked. The feedback's all presented. This is ready for the kids to get in there and make better. Okay, so it's really done a lot of work for each student. And the teachers have got it all marked and graded, and it's all set to go. So the grading has been done on the PSLE rubric grading, and all the feedback's here. Really, there's not much more to say other than it's in Scribo, safe as houses, and it's ready to go. Give kids, let them get in there and improve further. So that is Vision for PSLE using PDF, bulk PDF loading. Certainly saves time. It's an amazing little thing that sits on top of Scribo and deals specifically for the problem. Now, Scribo for teachers, but for PSLE for teachers, we don't need to have student accounts. This might be enough for a school just to get an eye shot of what they did, what the problems are, the sorts of things that Hazel's having trouble with. If that's enough for a teacher, we don't need to get kids involved. So there's a choice to sell a smaller version of PSLE for schools. It's for teachers only. They get this sort of feedback. Kids don't get it, but they can obviously print out reports and give the kids reports. So it's a case of what they want to do. A lot of schools like getting the kids right behind the whole thing and saying, look, we've loaded it, we've graded it, now you go and fix it. So, Hazel has to now start fixing her grammar, punctuation, spelling. She has to improve, her writing. She's got to, try and get her score up herself. This is the sort of stuff that Scribo does. So it's really something that we can round out in products, but make it very clear that PSLE for teachers can just be for teachers and do this job here. That's a big job. That saved them an entire weekend every week. So it's a worthwhile thing to have. Hope to talk soon. See ya.